You know, I looked at the statistics in 2019, there's about 10,000 consumer complaints. But in 2020, naging 58,000 consumer complaints. So that's a lot during the time of the pandemic. But you know, that's the entire online, online, nung dati, 2,000 plus lang ang online complaints natin. But nung nagka-pandemic, naging 15,000 yung complaints. So, in 2020, ito na, no, former Secretary Noah Lopez, at the time also, in recognition of what we call the ASEAN Strategic Action Plan on Consumer Protection, you know that meron pala tayo, commitment number 3, goal number 3, that each ASEAN member country must establish its national online dispute resolution by the year 2020. We actually did that in a way because that was the time that former Secretary Noah Lopez issued DAO 2005, which initiated the development of the Philippine Online Dispute Resolution System. So, naglabas tayo ng PODRS, and eto na, this is really the basis of the tasks that USAID-RESPOND agreed to help us with. So, ang nangyari dito, I remember in our conversation sa si Doc Mark, the idea was to have the entire consumer net part of the PODRS. Again, homework. Sila homework na tinisin na. Sino yung DOJ, DSP, DOT, DA, DOH, lahat ng mga consumer net. How many are these agencies in consumer net? What, more than 12? More than, how many? 30. 30 government agencies involved in consumer net. So can we just imagine, if we will do a Philippine Online Dispute Resolution System, na 30 agencies, ang haba ng job na yun. So ang haba ng job na yun. So talagang medyo mahirap. So, sabi ng DTI, alam naman natin, si DTI is the no-rounder policy. And again, sabi din, we heeded also na sa USAID, let us try with the Department of Trade. So that's the start. The Department of Trade and Industry, the group, the USAID-RESPOND, already now started the development of the system. So, una, the assessment, so there's, they assess our current system. And then lahat, diba? If you are all consumers, I don't know who has complained to the DTI, if you're a consumer complaint. Anyone? Wala? Ako po, nag-complain mo ako sa DTI. Kasi, nag-online shopping ako. So anyway, USAID-RESPOND and our Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau started working on the assessment stage, no? Ang next mong nangyari was, there already would be the phase, I think the phase is the functional specification. All of these things that I'm telling you now, they will show later on the outputs. And then because final in the assistance by USAID-RESPOND, even was in the systems development stage. So, you will see today that what we will launch today is the system itself with the basic features. So, ano ba yun? Hindi na kayo kailangan pumunta sa Department of Trade. Kung may complaint kayo, lahat naman po tayo, may government tayo. We are also consumers. You can go through this system. It's ang tawag po dito ay PODRS Care System. That's Consumer Complaints Assistance and Resolution System. It's a consumer care system. Pero kung ako po ang magpapangalan nito, tatawagin ko pong CARES. Consumer Complaints Assistance and Resolution. Wala na namang reaction. So, again, to our friends from USAID, and to everyone here, we will introduce to you the system with the basic features. You'll see their user registration, the finding of complaints, even mediation and adjudication. So, at this point muna, I'd like to do a special shout out, but I'd like you all to stand. The Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau Adjudication people. Can you please stand? Everyone? Hindi po ninyo sila makikita pag kayo, ay makikita rin pala. Sila po ang makikita ninyo na mag-handle ng inyong, ng ating mga consumers complaint through the CARES, care system. Thank you and do your job well. Okay? So again, I think what we will be looking for in the next few months after this launch is what we call the system enhancement. The USAID response assures us that there will be enhancement in the near future, which is all about one important thing that we all like in government is the data analytics, the report generation. We hope, and this is a call, and this is a call now again, that I will not be true to myself, Dr. and Dr. Henry, and of course since the big boss is here, Deputy Director Eric and also Sir Jay. This Philippine ODRS that we are trying first with the Department of Trade is just the first. We are looking forward to the enactment of the Internet Transactions Act, and if that law, when the law is enacted, that prescribes, mandates government, particularly the DTI, to develop a Philippine online dispute resolution system. And this is expected to be expanded not only to the DTI, but to all of you, our fellow government agencies concerned in the consumer net. So with that, I hope that our task will continue on, Doc Mar, and of course, Doc Andy, we deal with you almost daily. But to all yung ating pong mga kasamahan, trust that we will be here in the next few months, especially when ITA is enacted into law. We will knock on your door. We will knock on your door because we hope that through this integration, if you already have a system, through this integration, we will all do one Philippine ODRS so that our kababayan can use technology and make technology, will use technology for a more convenient and easy approach to tackle consumer complaints. With that, I thank you very much on behalf of the consumer profession for being here today. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you for the very warm opening message, Assistant Mary G.T. Pacheco. We would like to thank the participants through our live stream via DTI Philippines YouTube and DTI Philippines and Consumer Care Facebook. Let us now proceed with our next speaker. He has been serving as a Foreign Service Officer of the USAID since 2008. Prior to joining USAID, he was a trade consultant with Arlington International Trade Inc. from 2004 to 2008 and a program manager in Care International from 1991 to 1996. He was also a Peace Corps volunteer between 1984 to 1987. Let us now call the Deputy Director of the Office of Economic Development and Governance of the USAID, Mr. Eric Florimon Reed, for his message of support. Let us give him a round of applause.
Alright, good morning. So magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. I'm happy to be here with you this morning. So, start off, DCI for organizing this event. Let me acknowledge key partners. Would not be possible. Obviously, Secretary Pascual, who's coming a little bit later, and Assistant Secretary in Consumer Protection Group OIC, Mary Jean Pacheco, and the rest of the DTI team. Also, I want to acknowledge Dr. Henry Basilio and the rest of the RESPOND team at UPPAF or UPPAF. So I'm here today for representing USAID, and we are the lead U.S. government agency for international development and humanitarian assistance. So a big congratulations to DTI for launching this very important platform that will help and protect Filipino consumers. So I want to emphasize the importance of this initiative. It may be already cliche at this point, but the pandemic really has accelerated the switch, the transformation of the economy, the adoption of e-commerce, and the shift to online modalities from banking all the way to learning. And of course now we have AI coming on as well, which is going to be a big switch for all of us to get to adjust to. So anyway, it's been a big change. It's happened very fast. And the challenge for government then is to, okay, how are we going to keep up with that? What's our job going to be as we try to regulate all this is going on and protect consumers? And it's a big challenge. We're all sort of facing that challenge in government. And DTI, of course, is leading the way in terms of addressing that challenge. All right, so I was told the number of locally registered online businesses surged from 1,700 in just before the COVID, and jumped up during COVID to 75,000 just within the first 5 months, and now it's continued to grow ever since that. So we're looking at a huge change in the way we do business. So online transactions have made our life easier, but at the same time, it's kind of opened the door for some unscrupulous activities. Sellers selling fake goods, not delivering the goods, doing other things that would merit complaints against them, tricking consumers, saying they have merchandise they don't actually have. It's a whole litany of potential ways to engage in e-commerce in an unscrupulous manner. So we have seen, I think Assistant Secretary Pacheco already discussed the number of complaints. In 2019, consumer complaints were only 2,457, a very specific number. The following year, it ballooned to 57,000, with the bulk composed of online complaints. And I'm sure we all know somebody, including ourselves, who may have been fooled by somebody. I've got a number of deliveries still pending myself, which I should use the system. But they are COD, which makes it more complicated. So, all right. So we all know somebody who's been fooled by unscrupulous business practices, and that's what this complaint system is all about. So I have about that. All right. So USAID is pleased that DTI has put its faith in RESPOND, a program funded by the U.S. government to provide comprehensive support in the development of the Philippine online dispute resolution system. I also like how the system will be called now. Well, CARE, the Consumer Complaints Assistance and Resolution System, CARE. So So it's not easy. Understandably, if you want to create a good system, it takes a lot of time, a lot of focus, a lot of testing, and this is why it's been a couple of years of this so far, or RESPOND has. So 2 years, we now have a robust system that can be launched. I think it will be launched. So in a few minutes. So please, so plans are also underway to decide how we're going to build the system out, who's going to do it, link it up with other government systems in a more comprehensive manner. So congratulations are also in order to Dr. Basilio and the team at UPPAF. Okay, so I look forward to hearing how the system is deployed and maximized by Filipinos in the weeks, months, and years to come. I imagine it's going to be pretty popular. So again, congratulations to Secretary Pascual and ASEC Pacheco for both your vision, leadership, and hard work to make this possible. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. Reed, for your insightful and warm message. We would also like to acknowledge the presence of the following consumer-led agencies. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, represented by Mr. Homer Bundy. From National Food Authority, Ms. Maria Luisa Quiros. From National Meat Inspection Service, Ms. Cristal Angelique Medrano. From Bureau of International Revenue, Chief Revenue Officer Maylin Hirang. From Insurance Commission, Division Manager Juan Paulo Rojas. From PDIC or Philippine Deposit Insurance Commission. And National Telecommunications Commission, Mr. Werner L. Santos and Mr. Mercedito Postrade. From DOT, Department of Tourism, Ms. Jeril Grandoza. From MWSS or Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System, Mr. Patrick Descartes. Maraming salamat po. Our partners from UPPAF have prepared for us also a video to walk us through the care system. Let us all watch this. The DTI Consumer Complaints Assistance and Resolution System, also known as the DTI Consumer Care System, is part of the Philippine Online Dispute Resolution System. It is an online platform that enables consumers to register a complaint, request resolution for purchased products or services, and monitor its progress. Filing a complaint is now made easy through the self-service portal of the DTI Consumer Care System in 5 key steps. Step 1. Log into the DTI Consumer Care System. Consumers are now empowered to register their complaints, where they will be asked to sign in using their registered email address and their identifier password. Once logged in, the user clicks the File a Complaint button from the menu. The system automatically populates the complainant's information based on registration details. The user clicks Next. Step 2. Input complaint details. It is here where the consumer inputs the complaint details. The first step is to select the transaction type. Next is to select the category of the complaint. In this example, we will choose consumer product safety and quality. Depending on the category selected, the subcategory may or may not be enabled. To continue the example, the consumer will choose other consumer goods, since this is under the DTI jurisdiction. The system will assess if the complaint is within DTI jurisdiction or not based on the selected category. If it does not fall under the scope of DTI, it shall be forwarded via email as a referral to the corresponding agency. To continue, select the place where the transaction occurred, then indicate whether or not the transaction being complained about was done online or offline. Next, choose the preferred venue of the DTI office which will handle the complaint. The second and third venues are optional if there are other preferred locations to manage the complaint. After that, the user picks the date of the transaction and the desired outcome. The user then encodes the narrative of the complaint and attaches any proof of transaction, such as an official receipt. Please take note of the acceptable file types for the attachment. Once done, click Next. Step 3. Input respondent details. The complainant will have to provide the respondent details by encoding the name of the company or selecting from the list if the name of the company is already existing in the system. If the company is existing in the system, the contact information will be automatically populated. Otherwise, the user will have to encode any of the following contact information: contact number, address, or email. Next, input the name of the company's authorized representative. Or again, if the company already exists in the system, the complainant may simply select from the list provided. Upon completion of the respondent's details, the complainant may click Next. Step 4. Review data. The system will then display a summary of all the information included by the complainant. The complainant shall review the correctness and completeness of the included information and accept the oath of undertaking. In the oath of undertaking, the complainant declares complete understanding of the purpose of submitting the complaint and attests to the truthfulness of all the submitted data, which shall be processed in compliance with the Data Privacy Act of 2012. Step 5. Submit complaint. Once the information has been verified, the complainant may click Submit. The system will then issue a complaint ticket number, which the complainant may use to monitor updates on their complaint ticket. They will also receive an email notification upon the successful creation of a complaint ticket. The complainant will also receive email notifications on every important update on their complaint. To monitor the status of their complaint tickets, just go to the inbox and the system will display the status of the complaint ticket and other basic information on this complaint. Do you have a consumer complaint? Visit the DTI Consumer Care System website and file it away. The DTI Consumer Complaints Assistance and Resolution System, also known as the DTI Consumer Care System,
Okay. So many lyrics. May sound ka naman. So, check. 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 May sound ka naman. May sound ka naman. May sound ka naman.
all the information encoded by the complainant. The complainant shall review the correctness and completeness of the encoded information and accept the oath of undertaking. In the oath of undertaking, the complainant declares complete understanding of the purpose of submitting the complaint and attests to the truthfulness of all the submitted data, which shall be processed in compliance with the Data Privacy Act of 2012. Step 5. Submit complaint. Once the information has been verified, the complainant may click Submit. The system will then issue a complaint ticket number, which the complainant may use to monitor updates under complaint ticket. They will also receive an email notification upon the successful creation of the complaint ticket. The complainant will also receive email notifications on every important update on their complaint. To monitor the status of their complaint ticket, just go to the inbox and the system will display the status of the complaint ticket and other basic information on this complaint. The system will then issue a complaint ticket number. Do you have a consumer complaint? Visit the DTI Consumer Care System website and file it away. Upon the successful creation of the oath of undertaking, the complainant will also receive email notifications on every important update on their complaint. To monitor the status of their complaint ticket, just go to the inbox and the system will display the status of the complaint and other basic information on this complaint. Mediation. Once a tracking number has been issued and depending on the category of consumer care, the system will assess if it shall be for mediation. If it is for DTI mediation, the complaint shall be assigned to a DTI mediation officer. The mediation officer will have to review the complaint. Once the submitted information is deemed complete, they will issue a notice of mediation based on the details of the complaint. The complainant and respondent shall receive an email notification that a notice of mediation has been issued and they shall see the details of the conference. After the mediation conference has occurred, the mediation officer may issue a mediation agreement or a certificate to file action or CFA. In this example, the mediation officer will create a certificate to file action and select a reason for issuing the document. Once a certificate to file action has been generated, the complainant and respondent shall receive an email notification. Adjudication. The complainant may choose to file a formal complaint within 2 years from the issuance of the CFA. Filing a formal complaint can be made through 2 steps. Step 1. Upload the requirements. From the inbox, the user clicks the File Action button of the selected complaint. At the lower part, following requirements must be submitted: notarized omnibus sworn statement and certificate of non-forum shopping. The user may also swear under an adjudication officer if they need assistance on the notarization. To do this, they shall contact the nearest DTI office. Step 2. Submit for endorsement to adjudication. Once the necessary information has been filled out, the complainant can click the adjudication button. They shall be notified if an adjudication officer has been assigned to a complaint. The assigned adjudication officer shall assess the submission. If it is deemed complete, the adjudication officer can issue a notice of adjudication. The complainant and respondent will receive email notification of the notice of adjudication and can view and acknowledge the document through the DTI Consumer Care System. Once acknowledged, they can submit their position papers. The adjudication officer shall issue a decision and the complainant and respondent will receive an email notification of the decision and can view and acknowledge the documents through the DTI Consumer Care System. Do you have a consumer complaint? Visit the DTI Consumer Care System website and file it away. The DTI Consumer Complaints Assistance and Resolution System, also known as the DTI Consumer Care System, is part of the Philippine Online Dispute Resolution System and is an online platform that enables consumers to register a complaint, request resolution for purchased products or services, and monitor its progress. Filing a complaint is now made easy through the self-service portal of the DTI Consumer Care System in 5 key steps. Step 1. Log into the DTI Consumer Care System. Consumers are now empowered to register their complaints where they will be asked to sign in using their registered email address and their identified password. Once logged in, the user clicks the File a Complaint button from the menu. The system automatically populates the complainant's information based on registration details. The user clicks Next. Step 2. Input complaint details. It is here where the consumer encodes the complaint details. The first step is to select the transaction type. Next is to select the category of the complaint. In this example, we will choose consumer product safety and quality. Depending on the category selected, the subcategory may or may not be enabled. To continue the example, the consumer will choose Other Consumer Goods, since this is under the DTI jurisdiction. The system will assess if the complaint is within DTI jurisdiction or not based on the selected category. If it does not fall under the scope of DTI, it shall be forwarded via email as a referral to the corresponding agency. To continue, select the place where the transaction occurred, then indicate whether or not the transaction being complained about was done online or offline. Next, choose the preferred venue of the DTI office which will handle the complaint. The second and third venues are optional if there are other preferred locations to manage the complaint. After that, the user picks the date of the transaction and the desired outcome. The user then encodes the narrative of the complaint and attaches any proof of transaction, such as an official receipt. Please take note of the acceptable file types for the attachment. Once done, click Next. Step 3. Input respondent details. The complainant will have to provide the respondent details by encoding the name of the company or selecting from the list if the name of the company is already existing in the system. If the company is existing in the system, the contact information will be automatically populated. Otherwise, the user will have to encode any of the following contact information: contact number, address, or email. Next, input the name of the company's authorized representative. Or again, if the company already exists in the system, the complainant may simply select from the list provided. Upon completion of the respondent's details, the complainant may click Next. Step 4. Review data. The system will then display a summary of all the information encoded by the complainant. The complainant shall review the correctness and completeness of the encoded information and accept the oath of undertaking. In the oath of undertaking, the complainant declares complete understanding of the purpose of submitting the complaint and attests to the truthfulness of all the submitted data, which shall be processed in compliance with the Data Privacy Act of 2012. Step 5. Submit complaint. Once the information has been verified, the complainant may click Submit. The system will then issue a complaint ticket number, which the complainant may use to monitor updates on their complaint ticket. They will also receive an email notification upon the successful creation of a complaint ticket. The complainant will also receive email notifications on every important update on their complaint. To monitor the status of their complaint tickets, just go to the inbox and the system will display the status of the complaint ticket and other basic information on this complaint. Do you have a consumer complaint? Visit the DTI Consumer Care System website and file it away.
Secretary for Communications Undersecretary Maria Blanca Kim P. Lokin, and former Mayor of Tacloban City, Ms. Cristina Gonzalez Romualdez. Good morning po. We would also like to acknowledge the presence of the following from the local government units or LGUs. From Las Piñas, Ms. Olivia De Leon, Licensing Officer 1, Mr. Luisito Angeles Jr. from Manila, Head Administrative Staff. So before we proceed with our program, we would like to share with everyone that October is Consumer Welfare Month, or CWM. The CWM aims to promote the dissemination of sound consumer information on subjects that affect the consumers and encourage dialogue and cooperation among the consumers, businesses, and government sectors in strengthening consumer rights, awareness, and protection. The DTI Consumer Protection Group furthers the promotion of sustainable consumption with this year's CWM theme, Gen S, Generation Sustainable. It highlights the rise of more sustainability-oriented consumers and the importance of responsible consumption and the adoption of sustainable lifestyles to harness genuine and sustained change. It further reinforces the need for consumers to consciously make sustainable choices in availing goods and services and supporting government-led initiatives and grassroots efforts in promoting sustainability. So for this year, each week of October shall carry a sub-theme from the 7 R's of sustainability adopted from Consumers International. So first, we have recycle. Let us collect our recyclables, look for a community recycling drop-off center, and participate. Next, rethink. Step back and think about the type of consumer you want to be and what this means for the environment. And rethink about our choices. Reuse. Upcycle unused or discarded items. Reduce. Buy less and choose products that last long and prepare what you can consume to reduce food waste. Repair. Let us lengthen the lifespan of our much-loved by repairing them instead of buying new ones. Repurpose. Let us give an old item a new purpose. Refuse. Say no to single-use plastics and disposable items. So how can we connect the 7 R's to the PRS or the consumer care system? We can connect it with rethink. So let's say because we can utilize this system, we lessen our carbon footprint because we will be able to file our complaint through this system instead of going to the offices, DTI offices. For example, we lessen the use of our water because, of course, if you're going outside, you need to take a bath, you need to bring water before going out. Of course, lessen your transportation costs. So instead of complaining to the DTI offices, you can just file a complaint as easy as making a new account in the social media. And so that's it. I'm requesting everyone to let us all say together the 7 R's. Recycle, rethink, reuse, reduce, repair, repurpose, and refuse. So we are now back at this point to demonstrate the process of an actual filing in the consumer care system. We would like to call the director of the DTI Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau, Attorney Marcos Valdez, Attorney Mary Tenzil Bunal, also from DTI Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau, the Assistant Division Chief of the DTI Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau, Mediation Division, Ms. Gladys May Peña, Mr. Gerald J. Litong, also from FTEB, and UPPAF-RESPOND consultant, Ms. Mary Ruth Huico. a reminder to everyone, pursuant to the Data Privacy Act of 2012, we are reminding everyone to please refrain from disclosing the personal information of the complainant and respondent during the live filing session. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so what we had earlier videos prepared by UPPAF. Now we will see some live filing with Ladies and gentlemen, led by Attorney Jojo Among, our Division Chief. Sir, so kasi ganun po tayo ngayon ang gagawin natin ang filing natin ng system. Before we go to the adjudication portion, meron talaga yung video. So, ang system na pinakita kanina, ng mga videos na prepared natin, meron muna tayong mediation. And then, pag complete tayo sa mediation, so, guidelines for this. Pipirmahan ko po yan ng ating secretary and it will be published. Once the guidelines are published, live na po yan. So we will see if the guidelines can be published this Monday, October 16. We're hoping to get a slot in the official gazette and publish it. Once it's published, live na yan. Magkakaroon po ang DTI Consumer Protection Group ng information drive so that we can inform all the consumers in the Philippines and all over the world na if you have a complaint against a Philippine-based enterprise, pwede kayong pumasok dito, hindi nyo na kailangan magpunta sa any DTI office. Let's proceed with our complaint. Attorney. Ano ba tayo? Okay. Attorney, introduce yourself.
Hello. Hello. Good morning, everyone. I'm Denzel Bonal from the Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau. I'm here to demonstrate a live filing using our DTI Consumer Complaints Assistance and Resolution System.
Okay, so reflected on the screen, naka-mirror ang laptop ni Attorney Dens. And then, so she will be, mag-register ka muna, no? Mag-register. So our consumers watching online can see kung how we do this. Dahil kung medyo malabo yung video, at least dito makikita natin ginagawa sa inyong harapan. Okay, let's proceed.
Yes, sir.
So Attorney Dens now entering her email. Yeah, magre-register. Makita tayo. Okay, go ahead, go ahead. So, can you read to everyone ano yung nakalagay sa consent?
For the consent, by proceeding with this registration, I understand that I am signifying my unequivocal consent to the disclosure, collection, and use of my personal information for and the data required under the Department of Trade and Industry Department Administrative Order on the expanded dispute resolution system. I further agree and authorize the DTI to collect, process, and share my relevant information with involved persons and organizations, including authorized institutions, investigative agencies, regulators, and third parties, for legitimate purposes necessary and incidental to the filing of the resolution of this case.
Okay, so for our consumers online, this is an important step kasi meron po tayong Data Privacy Act at ang ating complainant po ay pumapayag na ibigay ang kanyang detalye at pumapayag dun sa mag-receive ng information na gamitin ang kanyang mga personal details.
Yes, sir. The next one is login credentials. I will be filling out this part with my email address that is that already has a Gmail account.
So gumagawa po ang ating complainant ng ating account and gagawa rin po siya ng password. Kita ba yung password? Hindi naman, no? Baka magamit eh. So if you can see, merong mga tracker dyan, may mga points that you have to meet para secure yung password. So for all our consumers online, kailangan lang po nating sundin yan. Pag makita na natin yung mga red circles na naging check mark na okay na po ang password natin.
Sir, I think I can also show the password po. Para po makita po nila reflecting these.
Password mo naman yan.
I think you can see po on the screen, I have a capital letter and lowercase, numbers and yun pong special character. So pasok po siya sa lahat po ng requirements ng password.
And then our complainant will repeat the password para sigurado lang po na hindi nagkamali at ilalagay na ang kanyang contact number. Tanggalin mo sa screen.
I-remove ko po muna sa screen para po input ko po kasi yung personal number ko.
Baka dumami ang textmate ni Attorney Dance. Bawasan muna natin. Ayan, naka-block na. Okay. Good. So next, what is our next step? Nandito na tayo sa personal details. Attorney Dance, pwede mo ba lakihan ng konti ang screen mo? Kasi hindi ko nababasa. Ayan. So nilalagay ang pangalan, ang age, ang status, social classification. Now, may mga reasons po na naglalagay tayo ng mga details na ganito. Kailangan po yan for the DTI, Department of Trade and Industry, para makagawa po ng mga policy. So, kung policy para sa ating mga consumers, so may mga classification, indigenous people, PWD, senior, solo parent. So, kung makita po namin na napakarami po ng certain classification na ganito yung complaint, ma-address po natin yan. That's the reason lang po kung bakit nailagay natin yan. Now, for our address. Siguro mas maganda, ilagay mo na lang na address is address ng office. Kasi pag ilagay mo yung personal address mo, dadami naman ng pen pal. Uso pa ba yung pen pal? Hindi na ba uso yun?
Lumalabas po siya pagka nilagay po natin yung kung saan pong area, lalabas po dito, magbe-breakdown po yung options. So for this one, City of Makati, and then for barangay, lalabas din po yung options niya, which is Bel Air.
Hindi lang. Ipaki-block mo na. Alright. So si Attorney Dance is now inputting her license details. So for those watching online, so naglalagay lang po si Attorney Dance sa mga details para may continue natin ang ating registration process. Once that's done, balik tayo sa screen. Okay. Now, ang ating complainant will be uploading a copy of her ID. And it's being uploaded now. So, depende sa bilis ng ating system, bilis ng ating internet kung makaka-receive agad ang ating complainant ng acknowledgement from the PODRS Consumer Care System kung successfully registered siya. So here, we can see email is not verified. Yan ang unang lalabas sa screen natin because kailangan makareceive si complainant ng email with a link na yun yung pipindutin niya, i-click niya para lalabas kung successful ang registration niya. So once na lumabas na yung ating email, na nandun yung successful registration, yan na ba? Yes, it's here. Mabilis ang ating internet ngayon. Buti na lang. I-click natin ang link and then go. Ayan na. Naka-register na po ang ating complainant. Yan. So makaka-receive po tayo ng email verified icon. So yung nakita kanina, it's a red icon, email not verified. Huwag po tayo mag-alala for all our consumers online. Pag nag-register kayo, yun yung unang lalabas. Wait for the verification email. Marireceive nyo rin yan. Pag na-receive nyo, click on the link at yun po ang lalabas na email verified. And then, once na-verified na, meron na po kayong account sa ating system. And then we can already proceed with the filing of the complaint. So magla-login na po. Ayan, naka-login ka na.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pwede na tayong mag-proceed sa file a complaint. Nandito po sa left side of the screen. I-click lang po yan. Kahit saan po kayo sa mundo, pwede po kayong mag-file. So long as yung pa-file ng complaint ay nandito po sa Pilipinas.
Sir, for the first page, everyone, nandito po nakalagay yung personal information na fill out po natin during the registration. So nandyan po yung full name and all the details that we provided a while ago. So pwede na po natin siyang i-next.
Okay, so, Attorney Dens, ano ang complaint mo?
So my complaint will be a personal family matter na complaint po. Pwede po siyang business or business use, but mine will be personal and family.
Ilalagay naman ni attorney ng ating complainant ang category. Category would be telecommunications and internet concerns. Marami tayo actually sa consumer protection group na nare-receive on this na complaints on this category. The subcategory would be product warranty. Bakit naman product warranty, Attorney Dens?
For this one, sir, product warranty and service warranty because for the installation of the modem, for example, hindi po siya maayos ang pagkakalagay. So therefore, hindi po for a long period of time, exactly 20 days, hindi po nagamit po yung binabayarang service ng binabayaran po naming service. So for this is a product warranty and the service warranty as well.
Okay. So, habang finifill up ni Attorney Dens, explain lang natin. Normally, ang telecommunications, ipa-file yan, telecommunications complaint, naka-file yan sa NTC. However, nitong 2018, nagkaroon po ng agreement ang NTC at DTI na kapag tungkol sa defective product, merong deceptive sales practice or merong issue about warranty ng service nila ng telecommunications, ang complaint na po yan, dadalhin po at pwede pong idulog sa Department of Trade and Industry. Outside those items, pwede na po yan sa NTC. Like for example, yung mga poor customer service, yung may kausap po tayo, hindi po tayo nakakasundo sa kausap natin sa telepono, yan po pwede natin sa NTC. But if it's a defective product, deceptive sale, or issue on warranty, in this case, meron siyang hindi nagamit na service, meron siyang hindi nagamit na modem for 20 days na hindi naayos, yun po ang complaint natin today.
So here, sir, the place of transaction, we reside in Pasay City. So place of transaction po will be falling under Metro Manila. Hindi po siya online transaction dahil po hindi naman po siya na-purchase online. I filled out a form physically po. So hindi po siya consider na online transaction. So hindi po natin siya ititik. Next is prefer DTI office to handle the complaint. Doon po kung saan nangyari yung transaction. Pwede din po office covering address of complainant, which is also in Metro Manila.
So dito merong summary of complaint. Dito po ilalagay ng ating complainant. Sige. Magka-copy and paste na lang para mabilis. Ganyan tayo sa DTI, mabilis tayo magtrabaho.
Nakapag-prepare na po ako ng summary of complaint. Medyo mahaba po kasi yung narrative. So dito po, kinopy-paste ko lang po. You can prepare po for your complaint and pwede pong i-input na lang din po natin dito.
Okay. So dito po naglalagay ng proof. Nag-upload lang po ng proof si Attorney Dens ang ating complainant. And for consumers online na nanonood ngayon, i-check lang po ninyo. Pag nakasulat po dyan yung 100% done, doon po tayo mag-press ng next. Pag wala pa pong lumalabas na ganyan, wag po tayo mag-press ng next muna.
Sir, to add to that po, drop file here to upload or click on choose file. Dito po hiningi po yung proof of transaction. Pwede pong yung mga conversation po natin with yung pong seller. Pwede din po yung mga resibo, yung ganyan po. Yung pwede po nating i-upload dito. For me, I uploaded po a conversation with the consumer relations officer.
On the next step, kailangan po ilagay ng ating complainant yung details ng respondent. Yes, go ahead. Lagay mo yung details ng respondent because totoo naman ang complaint mo. So, right now, we're talking directly to the Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau at totoo po ang complaint ni Attorney Dens.
Makikita po natin, kagaya po nung dinascuss kanina natin dun sa video, pagka po alam na po or predetermined na po yung business establishment name, if i-fill out na din po nung system yung address, contact information, the province, where the office is located, and kung saan po yung barangay.
Okay, so paglagay ng details ng respondent, mas maganda po sana kung meron po tayong makuhang email address or any other contact information ng ating respondent para mas madali po ang pag-inform sa kanya na meron pong nakafile na complaint. However, we are working right now with other agencies na kung wala po tayong makuhang details, makakapag-request po tayo ng assistance para makakuha po ng details ng respondent. Kasama po yan sa magiging development po ng ating program. At nailagay na ang details, ang email address ng respondent at press next. On the next screen, dito po lalabas yung summary ng ginawa ng ating complainant. So yung details niya, yung respondent details, yung details ng complaint. At pag okay na po yan, i-click lang po yung I agree, pakibasa lang Attorney Dens yung sa consent.
For the consent, subject to the provisions of the Data Privacy Act of 2012, the Alternative Dispute Resolution Act of 2004, and other applicable laws, rules, and regulations, I agree and authorize the Department of Trade and Industry to collect, process, and share my relevant information with involved persons and organizations, including authorized institutions, investigative agencies, and regulators, for legitimate processes necessary and incidental to the filing and resolution of this case. The DTI may likewise use the said information as reference in contact tracing as may be necessary in the future and subject to the data retention policy of the said agency.
Accept the undertaking, and then we are good to go. Ayan po. So, nag-upload lang po sa system natin yan. Now, for purposes of today's exercise, ang inactivate lang po natin right now ay dalawang mediation officer accounts. But for the Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau, we have 9. Is that correct? And 9 mediation officers, and around sa regions natin, we have as many as the provinces that we have. We have 82 provinces. So for the provinces, we have assigned mediation officers. But for today, again, dalawa lang po yung inactivate natin para makita. Now, the system will automatically assign yung complaint dun sa ating mediation officer. Hindi po alam ng mediation officer, katulad nito, magkatabi ang ating complainant, ang mediation officer, pero hindi nila alam kung sino sa kanila bibigay yung complaint. Makikita ba sa screen kung kanino yan? Ay, ilipat. So may na-assign na. Hingi lang tayo ng konting technical assistance. Tutulong sana ako pero medyo mabagal yung pagpunta ko dyan. Okay na. At eto na, meron na pong nanalo sa ating raffle. Ma'am, introduce
Yes, sir.
yourself.
Good morning, everyone. I am Vladimir Peña. I am the Assistant Division Chief of the FTEB Mediation Division. So once we receive the complaint from the complainant, it will be shown in our work list also. So from Attorney Den, so this is her complaint. And then we can see that it's now here with my work list. So we can, the mediation officer will act as also as an evaluator. Once we receive it, we will look into the details of the complaint, if it's complete or not. Opo, so titignan po natin ngayon kung kompleto po yung mga detalye at saka po yung tama po ba ang inattach po or nilagay po ng mga attachments from the complainant. So yun po yung ang responsibilidad po ng isang mediation officer kung titignan po kung pwede na po mag-proceed yung complaint. So ngayon po, makikita nyo po dito sa screen, either po data complete or data incomplete. Para po dito sa ating exercise, data complete po ito. Okay po. So kapag po nakita po namin na kompleto na po yung detalye ng final po na complaint ng ating complainant, ay gagawa na po ang mediation officer ng notice of mediation. So ang maganda po kasi dito, lahat po nasa system na. So hindi ko lang po papakita yung details sa taas. Ang gagawin po ng mediation officer ay isaset po yung mediation date. So kunwari po, i-add na po natin sa Tuesday po. Tapos kung ano po yung time. Tapos since po ito para po mapabilis ang ating mediation, ay online po ang ating mediation process via Zoom po.
Ma'am, hindi kunwari yung date, ha? Totoong date yan.
Sige po sir, totoo po ito.
Totoo ang complaint natin.
Apo, totoo po itong complaint mo na ito. Ito pong mediation link po ay aming official Zoom link, consumer care Zoom account. So ito po ay na-generate na po na Zoom link para po sa ating complainant and sa ating respondent.
So yan yung sinasabi natin kanina na anywhere in the world, pwede ka mag-file ng complaint. Anywhere in the world, pwede kayong mag-conduct ng mediation process. Kasi nga, nung nagtanong kanina si Asik Jean kung sino nagka-file ng complaint na, wala yatang nagtaas ng kamay. Kasi usually, iniisip natin, medyo hassle, ayokong pumunta, ayokong lumakad. Ito, magagawa natin kahit na nagne-Netflix lang tayo.
Tama po yan, sir. So ngayon po, nakalagay na po yung details ng ating meeting agenda via Zoom. So makikita nyo po yung link na nakalagay at saka po kung yung meeting ID and passcode nandyan na din po. So isasubmit ko na po ito para po ma-receive ng ating parties.
So today, we have invited our complainant and mediation officer and makukuha na rin ng invite yung respondent. Dahil ini-email na po na ang ating mediation officer ang notice of mediation sa kanya. Totoong complaint. Kamusta ba ang ating internet? Okay naman?
Medyo bumagal po, sir.
Yan.
Successful po.
Successfully sent. So, ililipat lang po natin ang screen from our mediation officer to back to our complainant. Medyo high-tech ang ating presentation.
Okay. So,
On the screen now,
dito po sa screen natin, makikita po natin, I received 4 emails already from the transaction or the ticket I placed. So first, yun pong verify po yung email address ko. Next is, welcome po ako sa DTI care system. And then, I have submitted the complaint ticket. And here, dito po sa pang-apat na email na natanggap, nakatanggap na po ako ng notice of mediation. So dito po, lalabas po yung information noon pong meeting. Kagaya po nung nakita natin kanina kay ma'am, date of mediation is October 17 at 11 a.m. Ito po yung link ng Zoom kung saan dadaluhan po ito ng complainant at ng respondent. Nasa ilalim naman din po yung information na pre-provide natin kanina. Pwede din po siya natin, sir, makita dito po sa ating account, sa dashboard.
Attorney Dance, may I excuse lang po. We would like to acknowledge po the presence of our DTI Secretary, Secretary Fred Pascual. Good morning po, sir. And Undersecretary for the DTI Regional Operations Group, Undersecretary Bless Lantayona. Good morning po, ma'am. Attorney Dance, you may go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Dito po sa ating dashboard, makikita po natin dito sa care system, sir.
so lalabas na ang ating complainant, meron siyang open ticket, isa. Meron ding naka-assign na for mediation, isa. Yan po yung ginawa ng ating complainant ngayon after niya mag-register at mag-file ng complaint. I-click mo para makita nila na in case na mawala yung email, andito pa rin po yan sa ating dashboard. So andun yung mediation notice, lalabas pa rin po yung link dyan. So kung hindi po natin ma-access ang ating email, wag po kayo mag-alala. Nandyan po sa ating dashboard ang meeting link at details ng ating mediation. Okay na? So, for our consumers online watching, ganun lang po kadali mag-file ng ating complaint gamitin ang Philippine Online Dispute Resolution System, DTI Consumer Complaints Assistance and Resolution System. Wag po tayo matakot na gamitin ito. Madali lang po, parang gumagawa lang po tayo ng account sa ating mga social media. So wag lang natin kalimutan ang ating mga details para matapos po ang ating complaint at ang details po ng respondent kung kayang makuha. Kung hindi po natin kayang makuha, tutulungan po natin kayo. At yun lang po, nagtatapos ang ating live filing demonstration. Maraming salamat po.
So thank you, Director Valdez, Attorney Bonal, Ms. Peña, Mr. Litong, and Ms. Huico for showing us the process of filing a complaint online through the consumer care system. So do you have a complaint? Visit the DTI Consumer Care System website and file it away. So before we proceed with the program, we would like to invite everyone to join us in the upcoming activities for the Consumer Welfare Month. We will be having a consumer webinar on October 17. The topic is on sustainable actions for the planet. And we are fortunate to have a resource person from the Climate Change Commission. We will also be having this Kwento Caravan at the Makati City Hall on October 18 to 19 and in San Juan City Hall on October 25. Stay updated with activities by subscribing to the DTI Consumer Care social media pages. At this point, we will be proceeding to the signing of the Department Administrative Order on the expanded dispute resolution system of the Department of Trade and Industry. We would like to invite on stage the Honorable Secretary Fred Pascual, Undersecretary Vesila Lantayona of the Regional Operations Group, Assistant Secretary Mary Jean Pacheco of the Consumer Protection Group, Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau Director, Attorney Marcus Valdez, and Assistant Director Cheryl Carbonell. Department Administrative Order on Expanded Dispute Resolution System of the Department of Trade and Industry. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.
you Undersecretary Lantayona, Assistant Secretary Mary Pacheco, Director Valdez, and Assistant Director Carbonell. We would like to request for the Honorable Secretary to stay on stage to deliver his message. A round of applause, please.
I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all those who have dedicated their time, effort, and their expertise from the various stakeholders in bringing this vision to fruition. Indeed, it is a testament to the power of collaboration, dedication, and shared goals. This juncture, I would like to acknowledge the Deputy Director, Eric Florimon Reed, Office of Economic Development and Governance of the USAID, and my colleagues from DTI, fellow workers in government, members of the media. I also want to give special thanks to our partners, the UP Group, doing this project under RESPOND and USAID for their invaluable assistance and development. Of course, I want to recognize Dr. Enrico Basilio, the Chief of Party, and Dr. Mario Lamberte, the Project Director. I'm honored to stand before you today to witness this momentous occasion as we reach a remarkable milestone in our nation's pursuit of progress and innovation. Under the Consumer Act of the Philippines, it is the policy of the state to protect the interests of consumers, promote their general welfare, and establish standards of conduct for business and industry. According to Article 59 of the Consumer Act and a related executive order, we are mandated at DTI to protect the rights of consumers by providing a fair, timely, and professional response to complaints for violation of fair trade laws. And there are a number of laws that protect consumers. And so we at DTI reiterate our full commitment to implementing the law as we roll out today the Philippine Online Dispute Resolution System, or PODRS, and the related Consumer Complaints Assistance and Resolution, or Customer Care. And we're launching these two systems officially today. Congratulations to all of you and all of us who are responsible for getting this system online. These breakthroughs or breakthrough initiatives will enable DTI and other concerned agencies to provide efficient, accessible, and fair solutions to disputes and addressing consumer concerns. Creating a web-based national consumer complaint portal is a welcome initiative for protecting the rights and interests of consumers in our country. The PODRS and the Consumer Care System mark significant steps in our journey towards a more connected and responsive society, addressing mounting complaints by consumers against companies and manufacturers on various issues ranging from trade malpractices to substandard and hazardous products. These systems have been designed to streamline the dispute resolution of consumer complaint handling process, making it easier for individuals and businesses to seek redress and find solutions to their issues. In this era of rapid digital transformation, where a growing number of transactions and interactions occur online, it is imperative that we adapt our system to meet the evolving needs of our society. It's also important to note that even before the need for complaint arises, I would like to ask our platform, e-commerce platform operators to do their part in already weeding out potential sources of complaints, like weeding out their platforms of merchants who sell fake products or substandard products, or merchants who don't deliver their ordered products on time. According to the Global Digital Report of the Philippines, published early this year, the internet penetration in our country now stands at 73% of the total population, translating to approximately 85 million Filipinos who are internet users. This report also highlights a significant increase in online consumer goods purchases. These findings are further corroborated by the surge in consumer complaints received by our department, particularly during the height of the pandemic. As you may know, there is also the Internet Transaction Act that is in the process of being finalized and will soon become law. And that will further provide protection to consumers as well as to merchants. Okay, there are always two sides of any complaint situation. This report also recognizes the timeliness of the developments in the market. And we ourselves in DTI are conscious of these developments, and that's why we have taken the initiative to modernize and automate our dispute resolution mechanism by establishing the Philippines Central Online Platform for Consumer Redress. The ultimate objective is to automate and interconnect all member agencies of the Consumer Network, or ConsumerNet, comprising of various government agencies and departments tasked with the responsibility of promoting consumer welfare and the development of a dispute resolution system for their complaints. The systems we are launching today, or we have launched today, will serve as the nation's web-based national consumer complaint portal, facilitating the timely flow of relevant information between agencies and consumers and establishing frontline facilities for consumer queries and concerns and systematic action on consumer issues and complaints. The consumers will utilize the PO-DRS to easily file their complaints and receive resolution for products and services acquired online or offline from businesses operating within the Philippines, ensuring the consumers' data privacy as well. These complaints will be received, docketed, transmitted, and resolved in a virtual network facility that allows tracking, aging, and status updating of cases, prescribing standards and limits of disclosure of data to maintain integrity and credibility of the system. The systems we launched today ensure the confidentiality and integrity and availability of the personal information stored through the PO-DRS in strict compliance with the Data Privacy Act of 2012. The PO-DRS is being undertaken in 3 stages. First stage is the development and operationalization of consumer complaints filing, tracking, aging, reports generation, and status updating to be put by the DTI. Stage 2 is the development of virtual mediation conference and possible online resolution of complaints. And stage 3 is linkage with the ASEAN Online Dispute Resolution System for effective resolution of cross-border consumer complaints. You all know that we are part of ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, and we're supposed to be now operating as a single market. So eventually, the cross-border transactions with online systems now accessible will be increasing in number. So it's possible that there will be cross-border complaints as well, because there will be purchases of products from the Philippines by consumers in other countries of ASEAN and vice versa. Thus, the PODRS is a crucial deliverable and adherence to strategic goal number 3 of ASEAN Strategic Action Plan on Consumer Protection 2016-2025, which places a special emphasis on product safety concerns and the establishment of the ASEAN Regional Online Dispute Resolution Network. The ASEAN Committee on Consumer Protection has included on its website the ASEAN Regional Complaints Platform, which is a dedicated page where consumers can file consumer complaints that are of concern to the ASEAN member states. This regional complaints platform serves as a channel or facility for ASEAN consumers to immediately complain and claim for any loss incurred in relation to any good or services purchased or acquired cross-border. The PODRS and the consumer care systems are not just tools, but symbols of our commitment to justice, fairness, and progress. They signify our government's dedication to fostering a more inclusive and equitable society where access to justice and consumer protection is within everyone's reach. With these systems, consumers will have a strong ally in their corner to safeguard their interests against abusive sellers. The reference of these systems is worth noting, as we are also celebrating Consumer Welfare Month this month. It is our utmost priority to protect consumers from scams and illegal activities perpetrated by dubious individuals or groups. Protecting consumers from identity theft and deceptive practices is an ongoing challenge. However, with advanced systems and dedicated efforts like what we have now, we can mitigate these risks and provide consumers with safer transactions environment. We also empower consumers on their rights and responsible consumption and the pivotal role they play in our economy. It's important to emphasize this, responsible consumption. We're now in the era of circular economy, so we need to be conscious of what we buy and how we dispose of the waste from what we buy. This is a project that we're working on, and we discussed this morning in the NEDA board meeting presided by the President in Malacanang. We must emphasize the need for consumer education because educated consumers are empowered consumers. Educating consumers about potential risks and best practices is crucial. Consumer Welfare Month serves as an opportunity to raise awareness about online security, safe shopping habits, and how to identify and report scams. By embracing technology while simultaneously implementing safeguards and raising awareness, we can create an environment where consumers can confidently engage in commerce and other activities online, knowing that their interests and security are protected. Let me take this opportunity to call on our consumers to reflect on the importance of responsible consumption that I've already mentioned earlier, in terms of the 3 or 7 R's. 7 R's. Rethink, refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose, recycle, and repair for sustainability and a lasting impact on our planet, make it truly sustainable. Being a responsible and smart consumer and making sustainable choices will not only benefit the environment, but also promote a healthier and more equitable world for our future generations. Let us commit ourselves to being responsible and informed and smart consumers. Let us support policies and initiatives such as PODRS and the consumer care systems that protect consumer rights. And let us remember that consumer power can drive positive change in our economy and society. The DTI, I reiterate, firmly believes in establishing PODRS and consumer care systems. This signifies our momentous achievement, revolutionizing how consumer complaints are addressed and resolved nationally and internationally. Let us embrace this new era of digitalized online consumer protection systems with open arms and unwavering commitment. With this launch, let us continue to foster a culture of innovation, strengthen our commitment to fairness and transparency, collaborate toward creating an adjusted, efficient, and inclusive future. Consumer welfare is a lifelong commitment to making choices that benefit ourselves and the society as a whole. Let us make informed choices and work towards a brighter, more consumer-friendly future for all. Thank you, and again, good day to all.
Thank you, Honorable Secretary Pascual. We would like to request for the Honorable Secretary to stay on stage for a photo opportunity. We would like to call on stage DTI Undersecretary Lantayona, Undersecretary Lokin, Assistant Secretary Pacheco, Assistant Secretary Overo, USAID Deputy Director Reed, Dr. Enrico Basilio, Dr. Mario Lamberte of UPAF, DTI Director Valdez, and Assistant Director Cheryl Carbonell to join the Honorable Secretary on stage. And Director Philip Sawali of Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau and Assistant Director Marimel Porciuncula of FTEB as well. Thank you, everyone. You may now return to your seats. But we would like to request Dr. Basilio to stay on stage to formally close this event before we proceed with our sumptuous buffet lunch. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief of Party of the UPPAF-RESPOND, Dr. Enrico L. Basilio. Let's give him a big hand.
Thank you very much. I'll keep these closing remarks very, very short. Secretary Pascual, Undersecretary Lantayona, Undersecretary Lokin, Assistant Secretary Ubero, of course, our partner Assistant Secretary Jean Pacheco, Reed, Eric Reed, and Jay De Quiros from USAID, friends from from our government partners, colleagues from other USAID project. I see Vice Cotojo here. Okay, thank you for coming. To the Respond team, Dr. Lamberte is our man of the hour. And of course, our counterpart from the Department of Trade and Industry, headed by, of course, ASEC Jean Pacheco, who made this PODRS possible. And of course, our consultants who are all there in that table. Magandang hapon po sa kanilang lahat. Respond has a long tradition of partnership with the Department of Trade and Industry. We were requested to provide inputs in the crafting of key policies that became laws. Eventually, I'm referring to the Public Service Act, the Foreign Investments Act, the Retail Trade Liberalization Act, the Electric Vehicle Industry Development Act, of course, the Philippine Creative Industry Development Act, and now the Internet Transactions Act. And we are working we worked on the development of the implementing rules and regulations. And of course, with ASEC Jean, we do a lot of things with the National Logistics Strategy, of course. And now we have the PODRS, the Philippine Online Dispute Resolution System. So we have successfully launched it. This system, on one hand, will benefit our consumers who now can complain about their market transaction, and on the other hand, will allow the Department of Trade and Industry to address these complaints via an electronic platform. So I'd like to thank our guests for their active participation, especially the stakeholders in the successful development of the PODRS, and now the challenge is the implementation side. Okay, so we at Respond have other ongoing activities with the Department of Trade and Industry. In fact, after this event, we will move to another function room to sign a memorandum of understanding for the crafting of the implementing rules and regulations for the One Town, One Product law, the OTOP Act. Of course, with USEC Lantayona, and Secretary Pascual will also grace the event. Another is we will also sign next month an MOU, not only with DTI, but also DNR, DILG, ARTA, and also DOF for the green minerals industry development. This will coincide at the mining conference in Baguio. And for USEC Perry, so inikot na po namin ang buong DTI. We are also promoting investments on green energy. And just last night, I was with Secretary Pascual in a dinner reception with the Linhai Industrial Park delegation who who are basically exploring investments on green energy. So I promise that this will be a short remark. So let me end by reaffirming Respond's commitment in supporting the activities of DTI. And in response to the new request of ASEC Jean, USAID will definitely respond to your request. So thank you all for coming, and now we can have our lunch. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Basilio, for your inspiring message. Again, thank you to our guests, partners in consumer welfare, and participants who made this launch ceremony possible. On behalf of the DTI Consumer Protection Group and UPAF, thank you again for being with us today. You may now proceed to the ballroom foyer to enjoy your sumptuous buffet lunch. Lunch will be served for VIP tables 2, 3, and 10. Please don't forget to like,
Follow and subscribe to our social media pages, DTI Consumer Care and DTI Philippines. Once again, do you have a consumer complaint? Visit the DTI Consumer Care System website and file it away. Likewise, this year's theme is Gen S, Generation Sustainable. Let us practice the 7 R's of sustainability. For the last time, I'm requesting everyone to say it again with me. The 7 R's of sustainability. All together, recycle, rethink, reuse, reduce, repurpose, refuse, and repair. Thank you, everyone.